When I was 20-something with some dubious facial hair, my next guest was the coolest thing on radio. 3 Grammys and a few million records later, Ben Harper is no less cool, and my facial hair is no less dubious. Ben Harper, welcome to The Weekly.
Charlie, thanks for having me.
You know, we were listening to your records in the office leading up to the interview, and half of the people...
That.
No, it was good. Half of the people said it was the soundtrack to their first joint, and the other half said it was the soundtrack to making out. Does that sound like a job well done to you?
Yeah.
What would be the first thing you'd say to the Lord? The last thing you would dream if you couldn't dream no more?
You're travelling with Charlie Musselwhite, legendary blues harmonica player. How did that start? How did that relationship begin?
We met in 1993 at a club called the Sweetwater, and I was opening up for John Lee Hooker. Walked into the room, and there was John Lee Hooker and Charlie Musselwhite side by side. And at that point, I was very much a student of blues music, and to see them in the same room at the same time was about as much as I can handle. We hit it off, stayed connected, crossed paths numerous times, one of which was in Byron, at the Byron Bay Blues Festival. And that was kind of the first time where, outside of John Lee, Charlie and I on our own hit it off and just committed to doing something somehow together as a duo at some point in our lives. We'd always say, when, not if, but when. And finally in 2012, we were able to make our first record.
He was nominated for 12 Grammys over his career, but didn't win one until you came along. Do you remind him of that a lot?
Not as much as I should.
Like if you're disagreeing over a chord progression, do you go, look, stick with me, I got this.
Pull it out of my pocket.
Here's the Grammy, yeah.
He won it. I just kind of, helped out with the soundtrack to it.
Now, in recording the new album, No Mercy in This Land, you decided to go sober as a result of that.
I did.
How did that come about?
It just felt like, I had written a song called The Bottle Wins Again, and it explored that journey.
We'll have just one or two. You pretend to listen.
As we were recording it, it was everybody in that room had their own wrestling match and their own experience with alcohol, current and previous. And it was a little too raw. It was too true. There was too much truth to the song to avoid it not being a cold look in the mirror.
Tonight the bottle wins the bottle wins again.
I sometimes feel when I'm writing this is weird, but when I write a joke, I feel like that's how I find out what I think about something.
That's it.
And do you feel that when you sit down and you start a song and you kind of get there by the end?
You sure can. Whether you start the song about someone else, it usually ends about yourself. And so the bottle kind of wins because I left it alone, which means I guess the bottle lost. But that doesn't make as good of a song. Does it?
A victory lap round the bottle isn't the best song of all time.
I could try to write that one, but it wouldn't resonate.
I will always find a way to lose. Give me one reason.
You've got 5 kids. Are they Ben Harper fans, or are they more into Ed Sheeran? Which way do they go?
Yeah, that's funny you mentioned Ed Sheeran, because one of the first concerts I took my daughter to was Ed. She said, Dad, I want to take my friends to see Ed. So I hooked up the tickets. It was basically a contest for my daughter and her friends as to who could stay the furthest away from me. Then we went backstage, and Ed came in. There was a room full of people, and Ed shook everyone's hand and then kind of gave me like a wink and left. They started getting mad, like, we were here, he was right over there, we missed our chance. We went into another room and he greeted us very generously.
And did you become cool dad at least then?
Not only was I cool dad, but then they were plotting the next show that they wanted me to take them to.
Oh, really? Right. It's like they just figured out that Ben Harper could be useful to.
If from time to time, it was a good...
That's kids, though. Like, kids will bring you back down. Like, they will keep you honest.
Ed, I got to tell you something, too. Ed was above and beyond. I mean, it was special. And one of my daughter's friends even said, hey, I have one friend that couldn't make it. I need you to make a video for her. And I'm just like, oh, And Ed takes the phone, gets her in it, flips it around so it's a video selfie, and does it. I was like, man, note taken.
Yeah.
You know, because I need to be that generous.
You got to start doing more.
I got to start doing more selfie videos. Yeah.
So what sort of dad are you? Are you like a protective dad, or are you like let him go out and break some bones sort of dad?
I think I'm a good balance of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you a school drop-off dad?
I'm a school drop-off dad. Oh yeah.
And so what music wins in the car?
Oh, that's been a long, sordid journey. An exploration of the radio dial from left to right.
Yeah.
But, I've been amazed. They've influenced me musically from their tastes, and hopefully me them.
Yeah. I'm listening to a lot of Elmo at the moment.
Oh, you're in Elmo? So what are you, 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. One time, my son and I, we were coming back from a trip somewhere, and we're going up La Brea in LA coming home, and there's 5 o'clock traffic. And we're sitting at a light, and my son is no more than 3 or 4. And from the back seat, we hear, God, I hate Elmo. And we look back, and there's a giant billboard of Elmo. Oh, he really just, and it's so him, now that he's fully realized, 17, yeah.
Just Elmo's not his thing.
It just was.
Elmo's too commercial. He's always on billboards. What's with Elmo? He's sold out.
But I mean,
Used to be about
the other
counting.
kids loved him, so he was just the odd man out.
Now, you've been coming to Australia for like 20 years?
Yeah.
We were talking about it around the office, and we were like, Australia have been early adopters of a few different musical acts. You're one of them. The other two we could think of were ABBA and Pink. Any chance of a full tour of you three at some point?
Jeff Buckley, too.
Oh, Jeff Buckley as well, yeah.
I had a talk with Jeff about that.
Yeah.
Because Jeff said to me, he said, do you get on the radio in America? I go, not a lick. And then he kind of took a pause. I go, do you? He goes, no, not really. And then we kind of both pause. And I go, man, if you're not getting on the radio, I don't stand a chance. And Jeff goes, I was just thinking the same thing. And then we started talking about challenges of breaking in America. The places that were actually responding to the music that we made were the exact same. And it was France, Italy, and Australia.
Your lyrics have always been political in some way, or that you've had a strong political undercurrent to your lyrics. Listening back to everything, it feels that they're as spot on now as they were 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Does that make you satisfied that you wrote songs that lasted, or angry that the times haven't changed more?
I think more the latter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when you sing that loud for that long, and things go in the direction that they have, you actually question what art means to culture as a reflection.
You can lie awake at night, pretend not to see, but you can't put that apple back up on his tree. There ain't no worries.
You're an active skater. You still skate quite a bit.
Yeah.
I was cleaning out my shed. I found my old skateboard, and I'm 40. I went out for a skate. It did not go well. It did not go well.
Okay.
I couldn't land anything.
Okay.
My bones hurt.
Yeah.
I don't bend anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
Is this a wise thing for you to be doing? I think that's what I'm asking.
Absolutely not. No, I'm risking great deals of money every time I step on 4 wheels.
Yeah, right.
And I do it anyway.
Yeah. Do you hurt? Like, when you
fall? I hurt, man. I'm dreading getting up from this chair from yesterday's skate. You know, once you get warmed up, you know, you're 18 again. But once you're warming down,
oh yeah,
you're twice your age.
I have a feeling you're doing middle age better than I am. That's my suspicion.
Maybe on the board, but in other aspects of life, I'm sure you've got me beat.
Hey, Ben Harper, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Charlie.
Great to meet you. Thank you.
Great to meet you.